Oh, I just wanted to take a moment to show you my latest build finish. This is a Mark 1 Spitfire. It's actually the Airfix kit A01071B. I have 71A right there, ready to go as well. But this is specifically a 1940s 90 squadron aircraft that crashed in France, and we have the rather unique white and black underside and everything else. And my paint job reflects this almost perfectly. But the white wing gives it away. But the top wing is showing you something else as well. This card might give you an idea of what I've been doing. This is just a post-it note, an old brush, very well dried brush as I've been dry brushing. And you can see from the guns and a bit of work here, a little bit from the exhaust. So again, the guns and the exhaust here. And especially the underside, because the underside of Spitfires got very, very dirty in the wheel well, from the guns, from the ejection ports. I have added weathering, and you might think that looks quite subtle, quite nice. I think it's subtle. It's very subtle. I don't do it very often. So my 110, which I can bring into view, is also similarly weathered down here. Far more subtly on the 110. She was a bit more clean, but you can definitely see stains and marks, apart from the obviously human-sized dust. But there's stains and there's marks and there's dust. But and there's a bit of the nose there as well. I think the underside has some as well. Yeah, from the radiators, going with the streaks from the wind. And I do this just with oil paint. Other people thin paints, they use powders, they use charcoals. I am just using a paintbrush. Okay, now I think this one here is a little bit heavy, so I don't want to do very much more. There's a touch of black and a touch of brown in both, but there are two guns there. This is a dual gun position. There's a single, a double, and a single. We should look at the front of the aircraft. So there's the double. So I'm leaving her like that. That's how I want her to look. And all it is very cheap oil paint. This came from a certain high street shop in the UK for, I think, £2. And I just put a dot on here, and I extremely dry brush the brush. This is an old brush as well, brush that I don't really care about. It's a little bit fair, a little bit furry, a little bit fluffy. What size is it? It's a size 0 brush. And I just very gently let it waggle backward and forward, basically. I don't particularly press. I don't particularly press hard or touch hard. I've touched the vents here, the engine aspirations are just very gently touched. Probably a little bit too much brown there. I just blend it in some more. And that's more or less how I do smokes and fuel leaks and, let's say, ignition stains and grass stains on the wheels. I mean, the wheels, these would have been 1940s grass strips in France, so a bit of nice French stuff. There's probably a bit too much on that wheel, but it's oil paint, so what you do is you just keep working at it. You just keep working it. We can work it back off, take some off, put it back on the paper, work it again, work it again, work it again, work it down and around into the spokes, maybe wipe it off. You can see it's coming off on that piece of paper there. Look, you can see how I'm just taking it off, and it would take weeks and weeks and weeks for the oil paint to dry. But a very muddy wheel is absolutely correct and period correct for this aircraft, and that's how I'm going to leave her. But I did want to just show you a little bit of gun. I need to put the red markers on the guns and drill them out. This aircraft is going to be posed as if she's actually done and ready, so they would put brand new red tape over the guns to say they're loaded, they're ready to go, but they haven't been fired because there's no hole in the guns. So that's where I'd just finish this off, and I'm going to make those out of actual yellow masking tape and then paint them red. So, or I can maybe find some red masking tape. Let me think about that. But for now, that is the weathering complete. And yes, this is the peeled Spitfire finished, and yeah, there's no chips left. No chipping fluid worked.